You are now listening to Crypto Files, and this is part 2 of the Enjin Efinity video. Welcome back. If you were watching part 1, I do apologize for cutting the video a little bit short, but due to the time constraints of only being allowed to have videos of 15 minutes, I definitely didn't want to jump into the next point of topic and then being abruptly interrupted. So I decided to cut it there in around a little shorter than 13 minutes. And we'll go ahead and pick up where we left off. So welcome back. Just a reminder, this is not financial advice. It is only for entertainment purposes. So let's get to it. So why is it that Enjin is so valuable to the community? Well, number one is they're educating everyone for mass adoption. They're constantly, if you go to their website, you see that they have non-fungible token documentation, what it means. What does it do? That is so important because that's needed for major adoption. Remember, their goal is, let's say, for example, to have AAA developers who create these huge video game, these huge video games to go ahead and implement NFTs into them. And we haven't really seen that just yet, but I think we will. So there's a lot of trouble with, like I said, funding and whatnot. So they already have a fund account to fund projects that they think are noteworthy. They have the wallet, the marketplace. They're setting everything up in place. We see here that they say decentralize the metaverse. And this is with Efinity. This is what they want to do. They want to go ahead and decentralize it. And what do they mean by that? Well, we have a lot of metaverses that benefit from NFTs, such as Decentraland. We have Sandbox, and a lot of these metaverses have a great value with their NFTs and their ecosystems, but only and solely in the metaverses. They're not really providing you a platform and the framework for you to build products or dApps that benefit from your NFTs and the creation. Yes, inside of the metaverse and its economics, yes, you do benefit from them, but you don't build per se metaverses, right? So this is the difference, and they're doing this now by moving over to Polkadot which is Affinity. So what's the difference between Affinity and Enjin? So, well, remember, Enjin is like Enjin gives you like the set of tools to be able to build, the NFTs, mint the NFTs, and then attach the like the ecosystem to your product. And you got the wallet, the marketplace, as I say, and then Efinity is actually gonna go ahead and become the new place where they're gonna go ahead and develop all the new features. Why do I say that? Well, we know Ethereum gas fees are super expensive, and they have in the past created what was called, let me take a look here. Where was it? You guys might be, yeah, it's right here. So introducing JumpNet. Let's take a step back. Forever free Ethereum scaling. So with Ethereum, we saw a lot of issues with the gas fees. They were way too high. So a solution that Enjin came up with was, they called it the JumpNet. And what is the JumpNet? Well, it's an instant and secure carbon negative and free on the chain transactions for NFTs and the Enjin coin. And that's pretty much what it provided. It's a bridge. So you would get off of the actual Ethereum blockchain verifying the transaction. I mean, ultimately it does verify it, but to execute the smart contract and the transaction, it would happen on JumpNet rather than on Ethereum. And that would lower the gas fees for anybody who was trying to mint an NFT, trade an NFT, or send an NFT. And so that's why they say blockchain at hyperspeed. Enjoy a seamless user experience made possible by JumpNet integration with all of our existing products. And that was the marketplace, the Beam, which involves the QR codes, the actual platform that you mint fungible tokens with, and the wallet. Now, very, very important, we have Enjin also to thank for the creation of ERC 1155. So what is ERC 1155? Well, ERC 1155 is the standard protocol for the actual token representation of fungible and non-fungible assets or crypto assets on a blockchain. So what do you mean by that? Well, we have ERC 20 standards, which are ERC 20 tokens, right? So these tokens obviously represent crypto, and those are fungible tokens. They're not NFTs. NFTs have, that buzzword now represents pretty much just art and a lot of the things that we see on the current marketplace, like video game 3D models and whatnot. But the fungible tokens sometimes are actually just the crypto you're receiving and trading and buying. That's why when you look at like altcoins, they're described as ERC20 tokens. So what was happening with the ecosystem was, with non-fungible tokens and then ERC20 tokens, the Ethereum blockchain was being bogged down. We all know that it got really bogged down. So for every NFT and smart contract that needed to be executed for every single NFT and ERC20 token, that was one transaction on a one-to-one basis. And so what ended up happening is they thought about this new standard called ERC 1155, where they can actually have a mix of transactions for ERC and ERC 721 token standards, meaning you can actually execute all these smart contract transactions that would mix both of them. So you can kind of have like a batch of transactions that would get executed for the actual native cryptocurrencies and the non-fungible tokens. And so instead of having like 10 transactions that would get executed, you can go ahead and execute 20 transactions per se, all involving different types of standards, whether it be a crypto standard, ERC20, or an ERC 721, which would be an NFT. It didn't matter. You can kind of batch them together and then execute that and allow the network to benefit from that, from diminishing the number of transactions that it needed to execute. So that's why it's called a multi-token standard. And that's because a token represents either an NFT or a fungible token, or non-fungible token or a fungible token. Non-fungible tokens we know are like art and stuff like that. They cannot be reproduced, right? But some crypto is reproducible, right? So that's an ERC20 token. And that's a benefit from ERC 1155. So they've paid their dues. They've gifted us the ERC 1155 standard, which is just huge. And that is what they're doing right now. They're contributing with JumpNet on the Ethereum blockchain. ERC 1155 helped out. It's still not enough. So they got Efinity now. Efinity is going to benefit Enjin so much because they now will be able to benefit from Polkadot's ecosystem, the lower gas fees. A lot of the features that are going to be built for the future for Enjin are going to be built specifically for Efinity. And then once those features are complete and we see Ethereum upgrade to 2.0, then they're going to go ahead and port those new features that were not possible on the original Ethereum blockchain because of the high gas fees and the bogged down network. They're going to go ahead and port those back over when it's upgraded to Ethereum 2.0. So it looks like there's a shift. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to talk for them too much, but I can imagine that there's some sort of shift in the opportunity to host to actually win a Parachain slot on the Polkadot ecosystem. That's how much of a big deal Polkadot is. People are recognizing it. Individuals with projects such as Enjin and others are recognizing it, where they can benefit from the Polkadot ecosystem and communicate with other Parachains, and it's gonna be awesome. So we're gonna see a lot of development, and that's why Efinity matters so much. So what's the difference, you say? Well, if they're running on Polkadot, they're actually given a framework to build a very specific blockchain, specifically focused solely on NFTs. Remember, Polkadot is meant to just allow individual companies and projects to focus on their case use, right? The relay chain takes care of the security. The relay chain ultimately verifies a lot of the transactions with validators, and it gives the ability for blockchain creators to go ahead and just focus on what the actual blockchain is meant for, and specifically just that. So Efinity actually raises the effectiveness, in my opinion, of Enjin to allow them to focus purely on NFT focused features for Enjin and their ecosystem. And that's why we're going to see new features that are going to be available once they win a slot, and then they'll be ported over to the Ethereum layer once they upgrade to Ethereum 2.0. So the SDK in the future is actually going to allow individuals, once they create something, to say, hey, do you want to host this on Polkadot or on the Ethereum chain? And I can only imagine, depending on what they choose, then they can go ahead and benefit from those features. So that is a major difference. Does Enjin and Efinity change? No, they're under the same umbrella, but Efinity is ultimately a layer that runs on the Polkadot Parachain. So it'll be a Parachain and it'll run on that ecosystem, which will benefit the overall project, allowing them to create more features, support more individuals with new framework features, and allowing them to build Enjin even more, focusing purely on NFT related content rather than worrying on how to solve issues on Ethereum that are brought on by the Ethereum chain. They can focus purely on that specific chain. So very, very, very good. I hope I explained it. This makes me super sad. I'm restricted. I can't, anybody in the US actually cannot contribute to the crowd lending campaign. So I'm really bummed out, or else I actually would. I do own some Enjins, so I will be purchasing more Enjin, and I think they have a really good platform that individuals are going to start to notice. Once people and companies start to build on top of their framework, on top of the tools that they supply, they got everything going on for them. This should have drawn a lot of attention, this Microsoft project that is being showcased. But again, the use cases are art, sports, music, real world, collectibles, and gaming. The focus right now is on gaming and metaverses, but ultimately you can branch out and it can apply to any of these use cases. And that's what they're after. That's why I think Enjin is so important, and it's just, in my books, a big winner. They're passionate about the project. They've been in gaming for a very long time. They know what they're doing. They've gifted us the ERC 1155, and just today I was looking at Twitter, and they've gone ahead and gifted us a new standard, which is the Parrot token standard. And as far as I understand, it's an interoperable token standard. So this is going to allow individuals to make IDs for tokens that can be minted on any chain or parachain. So meaning token IDs won't conflict with each other, no matter where they were minted, whether it was on Ethereum or Polkadot. And this is going to be huge. I want to see how this plays a role. And ultimately, this announcement was done on December the 1st. So a lot of news surrounding Enjin, and I think at $2.56, I think it's definitely undervalued in my opinion. So I'll be purchasing more, but that is for you to do your own research and for you to decide. Do not take it as financial advice. Hey guys, if you guys liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you all from watching. Let me know what you guys think about Enjin and their platform, along with the tools that they're providing for developers. I'd love to hear your opinion. Have a good one, and until next time.